BestBookBits.com presents 18 Minutes, Find Your Focus, Master Distraction, and Get the Right Things Done by Peter Bregman. Based upon his weekly Harvard Business Review columns, 18 Minutes clearly shows how busy people can cut through all the daily clutter and distractions and find a way to focus on those key items which are truly the top priorities in our lives. Bregman works from the premise that the best way to combat constant and distracting interruptions is to create productive distractions of one's own. Based upon a series of short bit-sized chapters, his approach allows us to safely navigate through the constant chatter of emails, text messages, phone calls, and endless meetings that prevent us from focusing our time on those things that are truly important to us. Mixing first-person insights along with unique case studies, Bregman sprinkles his charming book with pathways which help us guide us pathways that can get us on the right trail in 18 minutes or less. The written and audio summary can be found on our website, bestbookbits.com. So without further ado, I bring the book summary of 18 Minutes. Book summary: what's in it for me? Find your focus and get things done in 18 minutes. Do you sometimes find it difficult to concentrate? You're not alone. With Facebook, Instagram, and smartphones always with us, constantly beeping and buzzing, craving our attention, getting things done is tougher than ever. So how do you fight those distractions and find your focus again? First of all, you need to accept that you can't do everything. Then you need to make sure that the goals you have are really yours. Then it's time to get going. Luckily, there are some neat tips and tricks that will make it easier for you to succeed. And it doesn't require a lot of time either, just 18 minutes. In this book summary, you'll learn what Gmail's undo send function can teach you about life, what Jelly can teach you about choice, and why you should embrace your quirks. Summary Part 1, start by pausing and focusing on the best course of action. Sometimes waking up in the morning and looking at your to-do list can be overwhelming. Finding enough time to take care of everything can be a daily struggle. But with the right plan and some focused attention, you can be your most productive self. First, find your focus by pausing for a moment, reflecting on what needs to be done and finding the best and most fruitful course of action. This pause will also lead to you making fewer mistakes. Take Gmail's undo send function for example. This feature gives you 5 seconds to reconsider whether you might regret the email that you sent, and 5 seconds is all most people need to pause and realize they've made a mistake. Of course, it's more productive to avoiding writing and sending that email in the first place. Our initial instincts are often emotional, and the part of the brain that controls our impulses needs those few extra seconds to take control and put us on the right path. So before you take action, slow down and take a moment to consider and to avoid wasting time. This pause can train your mind for long-term success. You can think of life in terms of a marathon. It requires constant effort and endurance. Constant effort and endurance. Marathon runners gain endurance by breaking their week into 4 days of short runs, 1 day of a long run, and 2 days of rest. And just like these runners, you need this rest to reflect and put things in perspective. Pausing also allows you to think in new ways, leading to new possibilities. Without that break, you'll be on a constant autopilot, acting out according to your own idea of how things are supposed to be. This is the kind of behavior that leads to mistakes and missed opportunities. When you pause, it gives your mind the chance to calm down, see things accurately, and recognize the possibilities for productivity. So take the important first step and pause. Summary Part 2, find what's right for you by leveraging your strengths and embracing your weaknesses. Are you so ambitious you don't know where to start? To find the best option for you, try to organize your life and focus on the things that matter most. Ask yourself, what do you want to accomplish in a day, a week, a year, or a lifetime? To attain these goals, you need direction, and the key to getting on the right path is limiting your choices and taking advantage of your strengths. It is easy to take action when there are few options from which to choose. A simple way to narrow your options is to focus your attention on the things you are good at and work towards those talents and strengths. This can be a formula for being strategic about the things to which you dedicate your time and energy. Use this method to focus on approximately 5 things that will make a difference in your life. It might be improving your social life, being a better parent, or launching a new product. By devoting 95% of your time to these tasks, you'll be directing your time and energy in the best possible way. Focusing on your strengths doesn't mean ignoring your weaknesses. It's actually a good idea to embrace them. For example, say that one of your weaknesses is that you look at issues in a very black and white terms. The author's friend turned this weakness into an advantage by working on the issue of health reform. By not getting bogged down in unproductive arguments over grey areas, he used his stance of "I am right, you are wrong" as a source of power to move things forward and excel at his job. So when you are looking for direction in your life and choosing what to work on for the next day or year, take into consideration your strengths and weaknesses. You'll be on your way to getting the right things done. Summary part 3. Assert your differences and purpose your passion while avoiding your pitfalls. Have you ever considered what makes you different and unique as a disadvantage? Don't. It is a competitive advantage to be different from the rest. Today's marketplace is crowded and people have more options than ever from which to choose, from bars and restaurants to technological gadgets and mobile applications. It's the ones that offer something unique and different that stand out and succeed. If you're wondering what kind of successful project to work on for the next year, focus on the ones that have that special feature and stand out from the rest. Oftentimes, these differences can lead us to pursue our passion. It's much easier and more enjoyable to spend time on things we are passionate about. It can take a lot of time to master something or perfect a certain skill, so it's wise to turn your attention to something about which you're passionate. Take learning an instrument, for example. A study of the Berlin Academy of Music reveals that it takes 8,000 hours of training to become a professional violinist. Those hours would go by so much quickly if you love what you're doing. But to be successful, you have to avoid the pitfalls along the way. One common pitfall is a tendency to give up after a failure or misstep. Don't fall into this one. Instead, pick yourself up and look at the failure as a chance to learn from your mistakes and make improvements. Another pitfall involves being paralyzed by uncertainty about the future. In reality, no one knows what the future holds. In reality, no one knows what the future holds. Even a winning lottery ticket might turn into a future disaster. It's better to focus on the present and creating your opportunities. So now that you know what to look for and what to avoid, it's time to follow the plan. Summary part 4. Plan your day with the wisdom of the 18 minutes ritual. To follow through on a plan, you have to spend your time wisely. And to do that, you need to have a system to keep you focused and on track. Luckily, there's a simple 18-minute ritual you can follow every day. First, put aside 5 minutes in the morning to go over your plan for the day. In addition to things you would like to do, create an ignore list and the things to avoid. This will help you navigate the workday and stay on target. For example, if one of your goals is to become a better parent, today you might decide to avoid seeking the advice of other parents and instead focus on listening to your child. Scheduling is a useful tool for getting things done, and this doesn't mean saying, "I'll get to it tomorrow." Studies have shown that people are most likely to accomplish a task when they set a specific time and place. Of course, sometimes things don't go according to a plan, and you'll need to reschedule, but don't just postpone things for more than 3 days. Try to find time later that same day or sometime soon, and if it still doesn't get done, it might be best to let it go. The next step is to give yourself a 1-minute pause every hour during the day. It's easy to get overwhelmed at some point and lose your focus. In order to stay on track, take a short pause every hour to reflect on the progress you've made and what lies ahead. Afterward, you'll be refocused and re-energized. The final step is to take 5 minutes at the end of the day to review. This is time to think about what did and didn't work over the course of the day. Remember, learning from mistakes as well as victories is the key to long-term success. Learning from mistakes as well as victories is the key to long-term success. Now that you have the power of the 18-minute daily planning, it's time to be the boss of your distractions. Summary part 5. To prevent distractions, master your initiative, your boundaries, and yourself. So even though you might have a plan in place and a daily ritual to help you stick to it, you might be asking, what about all the daily distractions? Defeating distractions isn't easy, and often the hardest part of accomplishing a task is getting started. You might find that simply changing your environment will help you keep focused. It's easy to get distracted if you're looking at the exact same wall every single day. Simply rearranging the chairs in a conference room can help people stay sharp in meetings. Staying motivated is easier when you make accomplishing your tasks fun. Say you have a long-term project in front of you, of which it's intimidating to even get started. Try making a game out of it. Split the project up into different levels to ease the pressure and set up gradually increasing rewards for beating those levels. Setting clear boundaries is important for a distraction-free work zone. If you're working from a closed office, make it clear to everyone, even your kids, that your privacy is to be respected. If you have a knock first before entering policy or set do not disturb time, make sure to keep it enforced or else it can run the risk of being only a suggestion. Sometimes we are our own worst distraction. Here's a counterintuitive trick to help distract yourself from your distractions. Oftentimes, you can resist temptations to snack or check Twitter by simply stopping and sidetracking yourself. This is similar to pausing and refocusing yourself on a task at hand. Now that you've mastered your distractions, it's time to start your plan. So here's the final tip. Start off small and the rest will come naturally. In review, 18 minutes book summary. The key messages in this book. Don't do what others are expecting or what seems necessary. Do what is right for you. Look at your unique strengths, weaknesses, and passions. Then plan your year and follow the ritual of 18 minutes to help you reach your goals and overcome the distractions in your way. Actionable advice. Celebrate and use failure instead of fearing it. Did you know Iceland is the happiest place on earth? That's because Icelanders don't stigmatize failures, and you shouldn't either. By accepting and learning from your mistakes, you will adopt a growth mindset which will enable you to maximize your potential. Failure is inevitable, but also educational. And that's a wrap on the book summary of 18 minutes. Check out our YouTube channel with over 450 video book summaries uploaded and more coming. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment on what you think, and if there's a book you want us to do a summary on, comment below. Check out our website, bestbookbits.com, where you'll find 450 written book summaries, then you can download in the PDF in video categories from biographies, business and marketing, habits, health, leadership, money, personal development, philosophy, psychology, real estate, relationships, sales, spirituality, success, time management, and travel. If you're into the audio version, check out mixcloud.com/bestbookbits, where you can listen to 450 book summaries at your pleasure. And also last, follow us on Instagram for daily motivational quotes and book summaries. Thanks for watching and listening. Hope you got something out of this. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye now.